Who's this? It's 30p a meal Lee Anderson.
Make a meal for about 30 pence a day.
Instead of looking at what he's been up to recently, we're going to go back in time to 2019.
Let's get a few shots of you on the knocker, if that's all right.
When Lee Anderson was campaigning during the general election.
Yeah.
So he took us across the road, and on the third door, an effusive supporter.
But first, let's remember what he's been up to recently. Well, when he's not assaulting people,
Anything to say for yourself?
he's taking Steve Bray's hat. Or he's stoking division.
300 young men have arrived, and they're saying things to young girls and
Blaming the poor.
they hadn't got any pots and pans, so we gave them pots and pans to make the food on. Then we had the complaint that they hadn't got a fridge or a cooker.
Being rude to Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley.
You say you took 5 years out of the force. There's probably people listening to this today wish it was a lot longer, and I'm
not going to sit here. If people want to be personally offensive, then write it in newspapers, but I'm not going to answer those questions.
Complaining about rabid trade union leaders.
Like I say, rabid union leaders. I don't always blame members that are trying to hold the country to ransom. They've done it with the schools, they've done it with transport, they've done it with the health service.
Doxing local councillors.
What we're going to do is look behind the mattress again. See if we can find a district councillor. I know the district councillor lives over there on a few hundred yards away.
And interviewing Suella Braverman on his TV show.
Because it is a worldwide problem, Secretary, it needs a worldwide solution. Do you think they're listening to you?
Listen, I do. I think that what I was saying in my speech was actually an echo of what many other world leaders have said in the past.
Now let's go back to 2019, when Anderson was being interviewed by the Daily Mail as he went round his local constituency campaigning. And this is one of the locals who he knocked at.
I recognise you. It's Steve, isn't it? Yeah, I recognise you. How you doing, mate? All right.
Yes, I'm
just doing a bit of last-minute campaighning. Are you going to be voting on December the 12th? And do you mind me asking which way you're going to go this time?
Well, I'm going with you. There's no way Labour are ever going to get my vote again.
So Steve, the local, shared Anderson's views, but then he went a little further.
I watched that video.
Yeah.
What do you mean, putting antisocial people in tents?
Yeah, I didn't.
He's
I
not
think
allowed
you
to
were a bit
talk about
soft.
that now.
I think you're a bit soft on it.
A bit soft?
Yeah.
What would you do then?
I'd give cat and nine tails for.
Cat nine tails?
Make them wear a pink tutu.
Pink.
That'd stop them going round bullying anybody.
What about that?
I can't support this. Can we just cut there for one moment, please?
Oh dear. Anyway, it transpired after Anderson left the Daily Mail reporter that the cameraman realised the whole spontaneous doorstep encounter had been a set-up.
Don't just make out you don't make out you know who I am. You know I'm the candidate, but not a friend. All right.
Here's Anderson on the phone to Steve, setting up the encounter, unaware that everything he's saying is being recorded through the Daily Mail microphone he's wearing. Oops.
I'm at staff car park. Have a quick look. Yeah. All right, I'll see you in a minute. See you, mate.
At the time, Anderson said the call was merely about campaign material.
Right, best turn this off. Some leaflets have just come for me, so...
So all of this had been a complete set-up.
Hiya.
Oh yeah.
I'm Lee Anderson, your parliamentary candidate for the Conservative Party. How you doing? Don't just make out you don't make out you know who I am. You know I'm the candidate, but not a friend. All right. I recognise you. It's Steve, isn't it? Yeah, I recognise you.
Click here for Anderson interviewing a young entrepreneur.